host here,
Captain McAwesomeville.
Captain McAwesomeville. I guess that's what you're gonna go with,
That's Doctor Captain McAwesomeville to you.
Doctor Professor
Exactly.
McAwesome. And here I am once again. I I'm too tired, but hey, we're back. It's been a while, and we're gonna have a lot to talk to.
Right. So starting off, Tottenham still shit. Yes, I agree with everybody listening. No. But on a serious note,
Let's pause it for a second here because I'm tired of the bullshit of Tottenham. You leave my fucking team alone. I'm gonna roundhouse your ass.
it's the truth though. You know what
No,
to say. The truth
hey, hey,
hurts.
hey.
You know
We're
what to
getting
say. The
better. We're
truth
getting
hurts.
better. Okay, now we're back.
Truth hurts. Um, right. Starting off, Community Shield between Man City and Man United. To be honest, I expected I don't know a thrashing from City,
Yeah, me too.
but
Honestly,
it was pretty dead even. City didn't really get a lot on transfers. They did get that one kid though, Savino, who to me the way he plays, his body movement is a carbon copy of what's his face, the one from Real Madrid, who plays on the opposite side of Vinicius.
are you talking about Rodrigo?
Yeah, he's still like he's left footed as well. Savino,
No,
um, just like him. I forgot his name already.
Rodrigo.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like him, he has like the same bony body and like the same movements and stuff. And it's very very similar. So uh, I think that's the only one they got. I think they recently, like as of today, they just got like I think another defender or something like that. But even though like their transfer season has been really dull, they've sold more than what they've brought in.
Well, they brought back Gundogan.
Right, but I think it was more like I think that was more like I don't know, like an olive branch. I think more like hey, just because they got him for free.
Yeah,
So I don't really think because to be fair, their midfield is not horrible, but it's not good either. Because
it's not what it has been
at
for
least
a
like the
while.
last three, at least like okay, so the first league, the opening game for them was against Chelsea. To be fair, Chelsea lost, of course, but it wasn't a bad performance from Chelsea.
Yeah,
It's the same old story, right? They didn't have anybody to finish.
yeah.
Uh, but uh, according to the statistics, like it does nowadays, they're pretty dead even. But they had a better finisher.
To be honest, to be fair, I'm really surprised so far with Chelsea because I was not expecting this from
Yeah, I
them.
don't think anybody was.
Um, but then again, it's extremely early,
Yeah, of course, of
and
course.
this new coach that you guys have, uh, you know, you would just think he's a championship coach and that's it.
Well, I still think he's a championship coach.
Well, yeah, but it's still to be seen. But that thrashing that they had last week,
Yeah, against freaking
Wolves.
yeah Wolves. Well, okay, so before we get there,
Yeah,
right, Matt, we're talking about Man City United. That game was really close, right? It was neck and neck. They went to penalties, but you can tell that United weren't even at their best. Even if like they were like they had the full squad, everyone was healthy.
yeah.
It didn't. They didn't look dangerous. They didn't look like menacing. Like oh, like we are title contenders. Usually, people will always talk about United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, and end of the last 6 7 years, City, right, title contenders. But honestly, I think it's gonna be a longer pool of people who can actually win the league this season because just the way the top teams look didn't really look that convincing. Liverpool as well. Yeah, they're 2-0,
They have a new manager too, so it's we'll see how
but
he
it's the same
develops.
team though. It's yeah okay the structure, right, the
Yeah,
fundamental structure of it changed, but not in reality. They're still playing with Luis Diaz left, Salah right, what's his face up front.
Nunez.
Yeah, they're still playing with Diogo Jota from the bench, and then he replaces. Diaz. Nothing really changed. Even on the defense, they got rid of players who were bench players. So it's I don't know. It's I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
You know, um, but
I
yeah,
think what you're trying to say more is like there's a higher chance to be beaten now
yes,
than the previous seasons because they don't look as solid as they used to. Like you were saying with City and now with Liverpool.
yeah,
Um,
and even Arsenal, their first game they got so lucky against Villa,
yeah,
or second game. I don't know which one that was, but
that was the second game,
but
Villa.
but they got so lucky because Villa were pressing so much, and honestly, Ollie Watkins did not show up. He was so off his game that I think Mr. Good Evening should have substituted him. Unai Emery should have subbed him out a lot sooner than he did because he had, I think, two or three 1v1s and did not know what to do with it. He looked like if he was hungover, which most players do look like at the beginning of the season,
Yeah,
but he looked horrible, like horrible, horrible, horrible. When he was rated last season, rated his worth 80 to 90 mil, and now when they played Arsenal, he looked like a 10 million nobody. So I don't know. Even the commentators during the game were like praising Arsenal because they look so good. To me, they did not look like a winning side, like a Premier League title side.
I,
They looked okay.
I still believe that they're not going to win it, and it's just going to get worse from them after not being able to win it and being there consistently
Right.
now. Um, there's something about Arsenal. It's weird. Like you can't just look at them and be like, yeah, they're gonna win.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Um, and also because it just seems like there's an agenda with Arsenal. For example, with Saka, he's not that good.
Yeah.
There's
He's an average player.
the kid is a very timid player that from time to time he gets out of his shell and then he goes back in, and
Yeah.
it's just
He's an average player.
granted he might be like the best individual in a personal way, the good kid, whatever. But other than that, he's not something special, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Exactly. To me, again the hype around him is not a real hype. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's an inflation. That's what it is. It's
Yes.
an
Yes.
inflation of the player, because not to be what's the word? Not to be like one sided or anything, but I think
Biased.
biased. Yes, thank you. Cole Palmer is a better right winger than he is.
I agree. I agree.
Is he the best? No, far from it. But I think when it comes to those two players playing in the same position, when it comes to England call ups, I think Cole Palmer is a more reliable player than Bukayo Saka.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
so far with everything, we keep on mentioning it. The league gets weirder and weirder as time goes by.
the new hand rule, the new handball rule.
Oh my god, I'm
Did,
so
did you like
okay.
that one against City? Huh? Chelsea got shafted really, really well. You like that one, huh? I know you did. I know I did. I fucking love that.
Oh my god.
So it was a handball one, but if it was the old rules, it would have been handball because his hand was away from his body, right?
Yeah.
But because his hand was away from his body in a natural position, whatever that means, that was not handball, which I think it was bullshit.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Um, yeah, moving on.
But yeah, it's been weird. So yeah, like even this transfer season has become weirder too. It just feels like there's so little to pick from, and it seems like some of the quality is not moving, or they're going to the Saudi league,
To the
or
Middle East.
yeah, it's just been weird. Like Tottenham got Solanke, but they paid big money for him on paper because of what he did in his previous team. Technically he should be an upgrade from Richarlison, but
Which I think
but
I think okay. So I know him because he came to the Chelsea academy,
yeah,
and I really wanted him to play for Chelsea because he looked like a solid forward. But when he got the actual time, opportunity to play for the first team, he was complete shit. And
Well, with his history, because it wasn't just with Chelsea, he was with Liverpool.
well,
It
yeah, but he
it
was he
just
was
seems
at
like
Chelsea before Liverpool.
yeah. But what I'm trying to get to is just it wasn't until he came to a lower end team that he kind of blossomed a little. But it was just recent that that happened,
Yeah,
so we don't even know if he's consistent.
he isn't. I can tell you right now,
So
he isn't.
yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. So again, we might have not gotten an upgrade, and
I think he's an upgrade, but not at the level that you need.
it, okay, it could be the reason I still need to see if he's an upgrade at all,
Right.
because regardless if Richarlison is not scoring, at least what I appreciate is the effort that he puts in. Even if he's not scoring, he still runs, he's defending, he's up and down. Yes, he's shown his limitations,
Right.
but he's out there, um, so I want to see if this guy's even willing to do that to call him an upgrade.
Right.
So that's where I stand with that. Um, who do you think has won this transfer season so far?
No one. Well, okay, that's not true. That's not true. Um, Player wise, money wise, I think Real Madrid won it with Mbappe.
Okay.
Financially speaking, right? Because they got him on the cheap. I think
Yeah,
they got him for free. No,
they got
right?
him for free.
So,
They,
and
they yeah,
I'm pretty sure they've made their money with jerseys and crap. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But do I think he's like a good ass? He's a good asset to have no matter where he is. But I don't think he's gonna have the impact that everyone thinks he's gonna have because, especially today's game against Las Palmas,
Yeah.
he did not play. He played like the shitty version. I don't even know how to explain it, but he played really bad. He wasn't. And I get it. It's a new team. You have to understand your wingers. You have to understand your midfielders. But his idea, from what I saw from the game that I saw, his idea was like, okay, I'm gonna be a center forward the whole time. I'm just gonna run and run and run. And most of the times he had to drop about to the halfway line to even touch the ball. And he wasn't playing against a top team. Madrid were losing the first half, the first
Yeah.
50, 60 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And Madrid weren't playing either at their top notch. I don't know, maybe if it was like a bad day for them, which knowing Madrid
I,
probably was.
I just think that they haven't figured out the system that's going to work for them in general, because it just seems like it's too uh, cluttered up there, and
Well, yeah,
there's too many different ideas at once.
because Vinny wants to be a superstar one,
Of
and Mbappe
course,
wants to be a superstar.
it's Madrid. You're supposed to be the superstar,
Right, right. But I think I think what it boils down to is that uh, I honestly think that player, the individuality of Mbappe, won't be as good this season. I think next season, even though I know that it just started, but I think next season it will be his season in Spain.
Okay, I feel like this is what's going to happen. You think it's going to take him a season to adjust?
I would say like half a season,
Half a season?
and then like
I feel like it would be more of a half of a season, but I think it's going to come with a cost.
what do you mean, like an injury or what?
No, I feel like the way I've been seeing Madrid these couple games, and the press is already on, with the pressure.
Right.
Why isn't this functioning? We told you it's too much. This, and that. I feel like the reason I say with the cost is because I feel somebody's going to have to go in the next transfer season for him to be able to be a little more free and be what Mbappe is. That's my slight prediction. Let's see if the team can get it
Function,
together
yeah.
and function. But yeah, I think there's going to be a sacrifice there.
Now staying in sunny Spain, Barcelona with their crazy ideas. I don't know how much do you know about this, but so they paired up with Jacob and Co. I don't know if you know who Jacob and Co. is. Jacob and Co. is a watch company. They make
Yes.
very expensive watches. So they made Barcelona themed watches that they want to sell for like 140, 150 grand. And again, who's gonna buy a Barcelona themed watch?
Yeah.
Only a fan of Barcelona or a Jacob and Co. enthusiast. Maybe they'll buy one. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then they
Better
want to
have those
make
payment plans.
and then And then they want to make I don't know if you've seen like burgers, like they want to open up like a Barcelona
I haven't heard about
restaurant
that.
where they want to make burgers and stuff. So they're like really down bad for money, like
Yeah.
really really down bad.
Well, yeah, yeah. That's been the narrative for a little while now.
Yeah,
It's been a mess.
and they were able to get Danny Olmo registered before the weekend or before this last game because Andreas Christensen is out for I think like the whole season.
Yeah.
So they like found a loophole in the system and they were able to register him.
I thought they were gonna let him go.
I have no idea, but he's still being paid by them. But I don't know. I don't know if actually I don't know if he's being paid at all because Barcelona have that struggle, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Barcelona is another team as well that is they are they have it the worst out of everybody. People say that Chelsea are really down bad and shit, and which they are. They are. And I would think I would say emotionally when it comes to the players, right? The team Chelsea is down that bad, but when it comes to like not being able to pay your squad, or not being able, or like because there's rumors here and there, right?
Yeah.
Not being able to do this, not being able to do that, it's it must be very frustrating for El Presidente to fucking to actually cope and try to win something. Because honestly, when Xavi won the league with them, it was surprising. Everyone was surprised,
Of course. Yeah. You wouldn't expect that from a struggling team like
right?
this.
Especially
But
with the players he had to like, make it. So
yeah,
I don't know what's gonna happen. I hope it doesn't dissolve. I hope it doesn't cease to exist because they are an iconic team.
I don't think I don't think they would allow him to disappear like that. I think
It's
something's
a
going
lot
to
of money
happen.
though. It's a lot of money.
Understandable, but it's the
Someone would have to come and buy him, like
yeah,
a Middle Eastern team or owner. Sorry, would have to come and buy him. But then again, Barcelona, like the naming rights, I think it's like it's a lot like Chelsea, where it's owned by the fans, not by the company.
yeah,
So I think it'll come down to that if like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
But yeah, like I said, I'm sure something can be figured out eventually because I think Barca is one of those teams that are too big to completely fail like that.
right.
If not, I feel like the government will step in.
You think
Something,
so? I don't know.
something.
Now, taking the train from Spain to France,
Uh-huh.
PSG have been even though it's been again two games, 3 games, they've been freaking dominating the league. Like without like people were saying that they were gonna struggle without Mbappe,
Yes.
but they have been fucking 9-0, 6-0, some shit like that. And I'm like, bruh,
Yeah.
they did not need him. They did not need him. And then, I mean, to be honest, Lyon didn't look solid. Marseille are looking okay, but realistically, I think I'm calling it right now. Lyon is going to fucking PSG again. I honestly think so. I'm calling it right now.
But like you said, like everything else doesn't look solid either. Um, yeah,
Mm.
why not?
Italy, I haven't seen a lot about Italy because there's been
Mi-
so many,
Milan's been stacking up. Napoli has been doing a lot of purchase, but they don't seem very smart.
but they do have Antonio Conte though,
They do, but they just acquired
the
Lukaku.
legendary striker,
Lukaku, it's another
the racket
defender. Is
Lukaku.
another
Yeah,
defender for the opposite team in the important times.
yeah. I think at
So
all times, not just the important times.
sometimes he's got his lucky streak where he scores and all that stuff. Yes, the dude is solid, but he doesn't have much. Sometimes he's just what's the word?
A
He's in the
cone,
way.
he's useless.
So
Um, but yeah, but Italy, there's really hasn't been like anything like not. It's been pretty quiet in Italy. Besides the transfer, it's been
yeah.
quiet. Like you usually you can be like, oh, they look strong. Oh, what they look strong, but it's been really really quiet. Germany going to the north with your best friend. Um,
Why?
yeah,
Why?
uh,
Why?
they've been looking. They've been looking. So I saw. Okay, so I first of all I saw the German Supercopa, right?
Yeah.
Which was Leverkusen against Stuttgart. Typical fucking Leverkusen fashion.
Last minute.
They tied it.
Mm-hmm.
Went to penalties. Ended up winning. But I will say this though, they looked tired. It's the
Well,
first game of
not
the
just that.
season.
They've let go of a few of the
Two,
players,
three
right?
only. That's it. They've kept
Okay,
most of them, and they've brought in a few replacements, but younger players.
gotcha.
But they looked tired. Maybe I get it. It's the first, it's literally the first, it's the opener. So it's the game that opens the season. They just came back maybe a week or so, right before or two.
Mm-hmm.
But I just we go back to we'll fast forward a few days. The first day of the league, they win in the 110th minute or 100th minute, some crap like that. They score their goal and they win again.
Yeah.
And then the next game after that, the same thing. They win it late. Don't know if it's a curse or a blessing, but they haven't lost, which their winning streak continues,
Yes.
right, in the German league. But I don't know. With all that being said, right, uh, Bayern Munich look, eh,
Yeah, they did.
they look.
They don't look as threatening or dangerous.
Now I know they have a new coach. He was rookie of the year, but he's. I think it was a big risk in trusting Vincent Company. I think they should have kept Thomas Tuchel because he's my G. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, only time will tell. Only time will tell for him. Uh, what do you think about Germany? What do you think about all that stuff?
Hey, again, here I go with the same word. It's just been weird. Vincent Company comes in. I've seen some clips here and there of how he was with Burnley in the training
Like very
camps.
strict and
Yeah,
very
very
yeah.
strict. But it's tough nowadays to be that way because, you know, people don't respond to it like they used to,
Right. They
or
take
what
it
it was,
personally.
what it was intended for.
Right. Right.
It's motivation. I get it. Time change, all that good stuff. But you're making millions, bro.
Yep.
You're making millions, and you're doing what you love to do. I'm sure you can handle a couple of screams here and there. So going to Bayern Munich, uh, you see players like Leroy Sané.
Super lazy.
Absolutely. And then you got freaking Gnabry. Like there's several players in there in that squad that one, if they want to go back to what they used to be, they shouldn't be there. Period.
Right.
Because these are feeling players.
Yeah.
Unless they're feeling it, they're gonna perform. You've seen like their glimpses of their quality with great passes, great runs, the vision sometimes, but it's not consistent enough because these players don't like to be talked down on or little things like that.
I I think it's. I don't think it's that. I think it's especially when you're in a team like Bayern, where you've already like Leroy Sané and Serge Gnabry, where they've already won the league many times. They've already won every single thing. Everything you can win in Germany, they've won it, and
Yeah.
they've won the Champions League like 2, 3 times already together. They've already won everything they need to win, club wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. I think at their age, well, especially Serge Gnabry more than Leroy Sané, he's what like 29, 28, 30.
Ish.
He's at that age where it's like, bro,
It's
I
gonna
need to
go down.
decide. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I need to decide where I want to go.
But that's why I insist that it's important to just cut your losses with some of these players, even if they can still perform. They're not consistent, and if you're Bayern Munich, it's not just your Bayern Munich. It's important to the league. It's important to the country in
Yeah,
itself.
and to the standard.
Exactly, to the standard. So when you would think about Bayern Munich, it was discipline.
Yeah, it was the best of the best.
Exactly,
Yeah,
discipline. Teamwork and discipline.
yeah,
And now they've lost that for a while, and then they hit Harry Kane, and they can't win nothing. So
yeah.
we'll see.
Well, they did beat Tottenham from the Audi Trophy thing. So,
Oh my god!
hey. But moving back to England before we end all this,
Excuse me.
and so going to week one, Chelsea lost, Tottenham drew,
Drew against Leicester.
which was a very exciting for me at least because it was very reminiscent of the Eden Hazard goal against Tottenham.
Uh,
Not the whole thing, but it was more the celebration. You know what I mean? The Jamie Vardy pointing had his Premier League badge and stuff, and saying like, "I have one and you have zero." That was just, I don't know, chef's kiss.
I hate him, but it's a respectful hate.
Right.
Respectful hate.
Um, yeah, Arsenal, Liverpool, City, United. I think United. No, no, not United. Arsenal, City, Liverpool. I think are 2-0.
Yeah.
But they, again, they don't look solid. They don't look. I mean, to be fair, City went against a brand new Chelsea, same players ish, but a brand new Chelsea, brand new system, and they, yes, they won 2-0, but the scoreboard lied because it could have been 3-3. It could have been 5-5. It was just a terrible game, at least for the losing side. And then they went against Ipswich, and they were losing like in the first 15 minutes 1-0, which was crazy.
And then in 4 minutes they
Yeah,
just
they scored
scored
like
three.
five or something like that. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was embarrassing for Ipswich as well. But I mean, to be fair, it was expected of Ipswich to lose,
Yeah.
realistically. They don't have that caliber.
That depth or
Yeah, they haven't been
caliber.
in the Premier League like in 20 years,
Yeah.
so it's like a culture shock to them. Um,
Um.
all the other teams, to be fair, the Tottenham Everton game, Everton, right?
Yeah.
That one was pretty embarrassing because Everton, I think I messaged you this, is a championship team in a Premier League suit or skin.
Now it is. Now it is. That's why I responded the way I did with the text. Like, yes, Tottenham has made some moves, and they always tend to have a good opening to the season.
Right.
Um, so I did. I was expecting them to beat them at least 3-0, but because it's Tottenham, it's tough to stick to that because they always complicate things. And luckily, in this game, they didn't. Against Leicester, they did. They should have won that game. They didn't. Against this one, they were shaky, but they were able to pull it off. You know,
Well, yeah.
but how it should have been on paper.
Well, to be fair, Everton were like gifting them. So
Hey, they won with the score that was supposed to be. You know, and to the caliber of the team, so the quality,
right.
they they did what they were supposed to. They won 4-0, and that's
Which it brings my next question. I, Pickford is a shit keeper. He's
yes.
always been a shit keeper. I don't know why. What the England managers think in calling him up. I really, and this is like a not like I hate him, right? As I could care less about the guy, but I don't understand.
I think what it is one of those scenarios where he plays for a team that gets
Thrashed, fucking.
constantly attacked because they're limited. So there's moments that he looks better than what he really is because there's no other choice.
I don't think he's ever looked better than what it really is.
There's been little fragments here and there, but other than that, like, who do you bring in as an
They
English?
actually have two solid goalkeepers who they don't pick because of that trash can.
The Memo Choa effect.
So I think the Arsenal keeper, who I think he was leaving to Southampton or something like that, Ramsdale. I
Ramsdale,
think he's
okay.
better than him.
Eh,
I honestly think he's way better than him. And then Henderson, Tom Henderson, or something like that, who is the United third, who he was actually doing good when they called him up, but then they started picking Pickford all of a sudden because he must have got really good or something, bro. I don't know. You know what I mean? He must have given
yeah.
some good head or something. I have no idea, but yeah, I don't know. But besides him, yeah, the whole league. I mean, again, it's the start of the season. I know everyone's still, coming back from vacation. They're starting to get into the rhythm. I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Uh,
But
you know,
going to week two, Chelsea Wolves. I think Chelsea looked really good because they were shaky.
yeah.
They were literally gifting Wolves goals left and right. Like they thought they were Oprah Winfrey. Like Chelsea were like, we get a goal, you get a goal, we get a goal, you get a goal, and it was really embarrassing because honestly, I can tell you off the bat, the defense was nowhere fucking. They don't have a leader in the defense
Yeah.
when they should. They need someone to be like, hey, you fucking stay, be a good boy and stay, right? But instead, a mistake would happen, and they would all point, at each other like, you, was you, was you, was you. Like, no, like own up to your bullshit. Like you were talking about the whole Cucurella thing,
Yeah.
right? And all like the Twitter was like, "Oh, Cucurella," like that's not true. Like he wasn't even his guy. He literally came in and had to help the fucking guy who got left behind, which was Fofana, who then passed it on to Colwell, who then left it off to Cucurella, which to me is literally just a hot potato. That's literally what it is, a fucking hot potato game, which is embarrassing because if you're a 25, 23, 4 year old guy and you're getting paid 300,000 a week, you should be able to fucking defend. Because if not, I'm gonna fucking hire the guy from the corner. But anyway, in the Wolves game, it kind of showed what we needed, right, the whole time. On the
Yeah.
left side, they brought in Pedro Neto, which I thought his work ethic at Wolves was amazing because he would always attack, he would always defend, and when he would attack, he would make the smart choices. Now, remember, I think you questioned me about Modric. You asked me about Modric,
Yeah.
about, oh, what do I think? Do I still take him? I go, look, at his work ethic is amazing because he runs up and down like a Speedy Gonzalez. But his literally, and I think you saw it, his literal final decision is that like of a 6 year old. It's like he doesn't know what to do, even though he has people waiting, asking for the ball. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna make a U-turn and then I'll just do that instead. And Pedro Neto, no, immediately he got the ball, went up to attack, boom, Felix goal. And you can tell that like the whole dynamic of the team changed as soon as he came in.
Yeah.
And Modric can get mad and throw a fit. He's really young. I think he's like 21, 22. He's super young. He's very naive. He's very new, I think, in general, to life.
But he already has Premier League experience. Do you still give him that benefit of the doubt?
Like I said, to me, at this current point, if Pedro Neto gets hurt, we have no one to replace him.
Which he will get hurt. He will.
Hey, bro.
He's
He's
injury
not. No,
prone
he's not
player.
prone to getting injury. Nope.
Dude, you're gonna see.
He's not injured. He's not prone injury.
All right.
He ain't no Tottenham player. Uh, so I think if anything, I would loan him out, maybe to France. Maybe. Oh, but we were talking about this. Italy. What else do we say? Like Spain or Italy, where he can learn more of a passing trait.
Yeah.
More or Portugal, where he can have that pressure and learn how to play under pressure. But I think he's so naive and he's so up in his head that he thinks he's number one, and that it's what is keeping him down.
Hmm.
I think that's what's keeping him down.
Yeah, I had mentioned that it seemed like Italy might suit him a little better, but
Yeah,
you're right. In Spain, they getting him out of the Premier League for a bit might freshen him up.
exactly. But I think he has a lot of potential, like a lot, because he's super fast. He has great control of the ball, and he can one pass really, really good. But that final decision, that little key element for a number 10, he does not have it. He needs to either learn it now or get rid of that number 10 shirt. 100%. And he can be a winger. That's fine. Be a fucking winger. You need to be a 10. Because a lot of players who are now defenders used to be forwards, and vice versa. People who were forwards used to be defenders.
Yeah.
It's just you find your actual position later in time, which is there's nothing wrong with. There's nothing wrong with it. Like Big Gareth Bale, he started at left back,
Yes.
and then he went as a winger.
Yeah, as a winger.
So, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just you just really have to learn how to adapt.
Yeah.
To every position, and I know it's not easy, but
Honorable mention right now
mm-hmm.
that we talked very briefly about Italy and not much going on.
Mm-hmm.
There is something brewing on the sidelines with Como.
I mean, of course they got my boy Cesc, but
They've been doing a lot of business.
But
so,
yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be like, oh, we're gonna win City A. No.
no. I don't think that's the case. I'm just saying like something's brewing that's a little exciting.
I do think Cesc Fabregas, with time, with years under his belt as a coach, I think he'll be a top coach.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, you've seen that clip between the two fastest players and him, and he's the turtle.
No. Like I do have to admit I like hearing him speak about the strategies and how he looks at the game. He's a
smart player,
and a lot of the things he says make sense. And it's like, oh, okay.
So that video of Willian and Pedro and him,
yeah,
doing the whole cone thing. You've seen that video, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people have seen it, where he literally outruns the two fastest players because he literally plays it smart. He literally looks at the setup of the cones, and immediately, and he uses, I wouldn't say common sense, but he uses literally
Geometry.
essentially he uses something like that where it's like, okay, if I run straight, I know that if I go left next, it's going to be like the fastest route, right, and so on and so forth. And because you see all these guys run and grunt and run, and he literally like, no, like, why am I going to go that one when I have a cone right here?
Yeah.
So, like, he uses common sense, but not common sense.
He
But
just sees things differently.
yeah, but that's why I think he's going to be a great coach. Like, he's going to be an actual good coach,
Yeah.
like in the long run. 10 years maybe. He's like 50. Actually, no, that'd be 20 years.
So, yeah.
So when he's like 40, he'll be like solid. But yeah,
So, but yeah, like I said, it's somewhat exciting because it's different, it's new, it's the you know, the, like I said, honorable mention that there's something going on.
going back to the best team in the world. But you kind of saw how Chelsea were playing with the actual players that they needed. With like play, because you saw that 1-2-3 kind of movement, and
Yeah.
I still think though they need to get rid of Caicedo because he's a shit midfielder. He's so slow. He is too slow.
So my perspective on this game against Wolves, I just believe maybe it's just me being biased. It
It's you
probably
being
is,
biased.
but I feel like it's more of it was circumstances that allowed them to outscore them like that
So I will say
because
this.
of the team they played.
So I will say this. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, Chelsea are back." No, they are not back. They are far from it. They're still shit. But that those 10, 15 minutes that they had of glorious touch and glorious fucking play is what the new owners, that freaking regime
Yeah.
is has a vision of, right? Which is great. They have two players who are still like 16 years old that they bought, a Brazilian and a Colombian, that they are playing at the adult level. They're playing with the actual like first teams in their respective leagues.
Okay.
Those two players are players who one of them is going to replace Caicedo because it's that same position, and the other is going to either replace either Madueke or Palmer or fucking one of those wingers because they are actual number 10. Those or that one player, that one Brazilian, Estevao from that, he's an actual number 10. Like, he's a natural attacker and he actually attacks and not attacks and then decides to go back 50, 60 yards. Um, but I do think Caicedo is a player to me who was not worth 100 million. I think he needs to go because he's too slow. He's been in the league for 3, 4 years. This is his second year at Chelsea. He's too slow. He's too slow. And he's too stupid when it comes to on the ball. Um,
So you guys have too many players, like way
they
too
they've
many
always
players.
had too many players.
But not like this though. It's just
No,
it's weird
they
because
have. They have. The only difference is that before people weren't paying attention.
dude, it's not like before. You had
They had more
the academy
players.
was more
No, they had more
involved.
first team players when Mourinho was there the second time around. You know how many they had?
How many?
47 players.
47.
47 players. Right now, they don't even have, I think, 40. They have like 30 something. They're basically a football, like an American football team, right? Um, do I think that the new owners are throwing money at the wall and seeing what sticks? 100%. Because they're idiots. They're running it like if it's a fucking baseball team.
There's a few scouts that have been removed from their clubs or parting ways.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and it's just confirming one of the things that we had mentioned before. It, teams now are literally just trying to moneyball the
yeah.
leagues, and it's a little stressful to look at that because now you're not paying attention to the talent. You're paying attention to just numbers.
To the name.
Hmm. And I feel like that might kill the sport a bit in the long run
Yeah, of course.
because that's what's Tottenham's doing. That I don't like it,
I mean, to be
but
fair, Tottenham is not throwing real money at it.
They're not, but they are.
It's like they're just dipping their toes.
The way they're approaching this money balls is don't spend money, but look at the numbers over here. That's why we're bringing in a lot of young kids. A lot there's a lot of young kids in the team, and it's just they're playing the numbers game. That's all they're doing with a little bit of money. Now the approach for Chelsea is like we're gonna throw money and look at numbers.
Again, I know they need to. I mean, I think today the window closes, right? Or tomorrow, or
Tonight.
something like that.
Yeah.
I know they were trying to get Victor.
Osimhen.
Yeah, which, in all fairness, I think he's one of those strikers. I think he's another Diego Costa, but skinnier and tall.
I just think that you guys just need somebody there.
Yeah, 100%. Because Jackson is not a reliable forward. First of all, he's not even a forward.
I saw a rumor again. You can confirm this right now because it was late and I kind of glanced at it, but I saw a little rumor that supposedly Ivan Toney.
I saw that Sky Sports had confirmed that Chelsea had already purchased him, but it was a fake.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
all right, because I did see that and I'm like, huh, like
Yeah, it was fake, and I was like, because I went to the homie Fabrizio's channel or account, and no, it was like he didn't say anything. So if he didn't say anything, I don't fucking believe it.
well,
But
he like you said, he's dropped the ball a couple of times, and this
yes,
transfer season again,
he's
it
dropped the
happened with
ball.
Tottenham with that new purchase from Burnley out of nowhere.
He's dropped the ball for sure, but uh, as of recently, he's been on it. Like he's literally been on it. Like especially like these last days, he's been on it. But so that one guy, Victor, whatever. Oh, me,
Osimhen.
yeah. I don't like the fact that you've not proven yourself. Period. You scored goals in Italy. You've proven that you're a striker, your position.
Mm-hmm.
But you haven't really proven yourself. Why are you asking for so much money when really you're not his value,
His wage.
his wages?
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, the wages.
because that's the only issue that Chelsea have with him. Because it's been reported by Fabrizio that Chelsea will buy him like right now, but he needs to lower his cut his wages in half.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to. And I go back to
So then he's gonna end up in
well, yeah, Saudi Arabia. I think we're paying like
Saudi
60
Arabia.
million a year.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna pay that.
No.
Not in England, not in
No.
Germany, no, you know what I mean? And
Who was that player that they
Napoli owner the Napoli owner is a really hard headed man.
Yeah.
And he's already like says that he doesn't want him in his team anymore. So he's gonna have no if he doesn't decide he's gonna go to the Middle East and just end his career,
he's gonna go to the Middle East.
or he's gonna come to England and try to do something.
Mm.
Right? Because those are his two choices. Because nobody else wants him.
Yeah.
Because of his wages. I think he wants like 400,000 a week, which is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's to me, it's like the whole thing. Like, maybe it's the way I am. Maybe I don't know, but to me, in order for a team to actually pay you that money, let's say you want 250, you have to have
Perform.
or like have like your resume, bro. Like, hey,
Yeah.
look, I've won the Champions, I've won this, I've won that. I think I deserve it because I can maybe get you a Champions League. Because no player can secure you a Champions League. Maybe Messi, Ronaldo, fucking Henry, and Superman in one team, but in reality, no one player can guarantee you. Maybe they can guarantee you a shot at the final, but they can't guarantee you an actual trophy.
This is when I kind of miss those kind of contracts that you get paid by your performance, like in the contracts where like if you meet
like the
these
standard.
amounts, yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like all that's been going out the window little by little. And now here we are. Like we mentioned, like 2-3 episodes back, strikers. There's a very lack of, we're lacking strikers everywhere.
Right.
What's an exciting striker right now?
Yeah. There really isn't one that's like, oh my god, like he's
Yeah.
top notch or whatever. Same thing, Sterling. Like nobody wants him because of his wages. I think like 350,000 a week.
Yeah, I keep hearing that he might end up in United, but we'll see within the next couple of minutes or hours.
Or yeah, or maybe tomorrow. Maybe
Yeah,
because I know they can ask for like an extension,
yeah.
but I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Real quickly, Conor Gallagher going to Atletico de Madrid. I did not have that on my bingo card.
Me neither. Look, Atletico de Madrid has been doing a lot of business, like taking Julian Alvarez.
Alvarez,
I thought that was a good purchase for them, for
because
him.
because it's also his style of play.
Exactly, and not for him because of his style and because Atletico tends to develop their strikers properly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a great move for him in a personal note. Now Gallagher, I don't know what it is about him. Like, yes, Tottenham wanted him, but I have not seen the appeal for him.
So I think it's the work ethic because he doesn't quit. That's one thing. He doesn't quit. Like he'll go for every ball for whatever. I think it's that, and that's what Cholo Simeone loves. He loves people who just like run, 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 run.
He just looks like a fish out of water.
Right. And you know what? So I was watching his first game with Atletico, and I don't know if he got told or if that was what they practiced, but when he came in, so usually at Chelsea, he was a number 10 and he was a number 4, right? So he was Makalele and he was a fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, his like the middle was his
Yeah, it
space.
was
That's
the
all it
whole like the
was.
whole square,
Yeah,
the whole rectangle, like that was all him
yeah.
from box to box, a traditional box to box player, something that you don't see anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I know he has the gas for it, the energy for it, because it's all he did at Chelsea was run, 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 run. He scored very few goals. Yes, I appreciate that he's 18 years to the club and was a kid. Amazing. But again, if you don't have it, if you don't have what it takes, I'm sorry, but it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
So watching him at Atletico do the same, but at a slower pace, made me think that Atletico bought the wrong person because he looked. I get it, language barrier maybe because he doesn't speak Spanish,
Yeah.
but he would walk when the ball was when the opposite team was attacking. He would walk. He would cover his area, but he would walk.
I think that's a his transfer to
Spain.
Atletico.
Mm-hmm.
I think represents where the market is at right now. Because if this guy seemed like he was overhyped,
Yeah.
and it seems like it was he's overhyped, and on top of that, it it was the better transfers that happened. So I feel like it's a great representation of where football right now is with the quality because
I think if he is on his A game,
yeah.
he's an actual box to box player. Again, players like that they don't exist anymore because there's no need for them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because now everyone does everything now. They put central defenders as number 4s now. They put wingers or defensive left backs as wingers now. They put forwards as false forwards, right? False
Yeah.
nines.
We've mentioned something like that before where we're in the eras of the wingers, the on the
Yeah,
sides, the defenders scoring more. Um,
but
so that's where we're at right now.
I hope he develops positively for his career's sake because he's really young still.
Yeah.
He's like 24, I think. He's really young, so I think he can still improve. I think the passing of Spain or that mentality of holding, pause, take it
I give him a
easy.
little more vision.
Yes, and if he picks up that, I think he'll be solid. I think he'll have a good mild career. But yeah, I think I mean
So let me bring it back to England and mentioned one of the things that happened actually today or last night,
I don't know.
where Liverpool
Chiesa.
got Federico Chiesa.
To be fair, he was close to doing Chelsea. Because you went to wanted Sterling.
There was a long conversation with Chelsea, with the London teams, but mostly with Chelsea. Um, I think for the price,
He's a solid buy. Or what?
that was a great buy for them, especially because they have a new coach. And I think between if he can maintain healthy, because he's still somewhat young, if he can maintain, I love his work ethic on the field where he doesn't give up. He's a warrior.
Right,
That's one thing that I've always admired. I've always wanted him at Tottenham because of that.
right.
Um, so we didn't do the business, which really upset me because he was so cheap. If we did that for Timo Werner, why didn't we do it with Chiesa? You know?
Wait, did Tano end up buying him? No, right?
Yes,
Oh, they did.
we bought him
Oh,
for 17.
oof, that's rough.
But that's what I'm talking about. If you were willing to get Timo Werner for 17 and not Federico Chiesa for 15, something's
I
wrong
think it was
there.
13.
Even worse. Even
Sorry,
worse.
I didn't mean
You know? So I feel like it's a great
purchase.
smoke curtain for Slot this season because I feel like he's going to get exposed in this league
Exposed as a fraud.
as not a very good manager.
Well, to be fair, he was the Feyenoord. Feyenoord.
Feyenoord, yeah.
He
I
won the
know he
league,
won the league, but it's
but it's not easy because Feyenoord before that they've been terrible.
they had ups and downs.
No, they've been
Feyenoord,
terrible. They've been bad.
yeah.
So I think he did a good job, but it's it's the league.
Exactly. So that's where I'm going with this. It's different. It's a
Yeah,
different league, and
it's a different mentality.
I feel like Chiesa with Diaz, it's going to be a really good band aid to that.
Well, they have Jota, Chiesa, and Diaz in the same wing.
Mhm.
They all play that same way. Well, I mean, Jota can play like false 10, false 9,
Yeah.
side to side winger thing, but not Diaz, not Chiesa. Chiesa can either play left or he can play right. But if he plays right, he's always going to cut into the inside.
But we'll see how that one turns out. Like I was pretty bummed out. Yeah, I'll be extremely happy if it doesn't work out.
Right. Lastly, last topic because it's been a long day.
Yeah.
The Champions League was a mess.
Oh my god.
Did you see the whole table?
Yes.
It looked horrible.
It's like a glimpse of the Super League.
It looked chaotic. There's only one game now per team.
Yeah, it's eight different teams.
Yeah, it looked very
You
chaotic.
got four home, four away.
It looked I don't know, it didn't look appealing.
Feeling
I
that
just
we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. It's awkward. It looks like a chicken scratch. Uh, Maybe we're just set in our ways with this Champions League from the previous format
I think what happened is they got scared.
with the Super League
They got scared and they panicked and they said, we'll do something like this to
to appease.
yeah, to change it, right? To be different. But honestly, I don't think change is good sometimes, but I also think sometimes, just staying, if it works, it works, right? Like
Yeah.
why change the recipe? Right. And I know like changing the rules where like away goals didn't count like
The
that screwed so many teams.
Yeah. The way I see the system is kind of like what the Super League was gonna do in the negative way is you're getting your games, your box office games now.
Hmm.
So now there's even a bigger risk for the lower teams to not shine.
Well, yes, but now they have more opportunities though, because now when they play like their league tournaments, like their league
Yeah.
cups, they can qualify for the Champions League and for the Europa League.
Yeah, but once you're out of each league, you're out. You don't go down to Europa League anymore.
No, 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 no.
No, yes, for real. Like,
No, no, it's not that. That I'm okay with. I could. That doesn't really matter because there's so many teams now.
yeah,
What I'm saying is, so say a team from the second division of Germany or whatever plays against a first division team in a cup final.
Mm-hmm.
in a league cup final, like the Pokal or whatever, right? And the second division team wins the trophy. They win, they qualify for either Champions or Europa League, wherever they stand in UEFA.
What?
Mm-hmm. So also now like in the FA Cup and the Carling Cup or
Yeah.
the English Cup, I think like 9 teams can qualify for the Europa League and Champions League for the qualifiers of the Champions
Yeah.
League.
Well, yeah, that's true. There is a lot more teams now qualifying. So
Yeah,
are they? No,
because
that's
I
the
just saw
Super
it like
League.
on Fox, and I was like,
I'm still trying to get a grasp of exactly what's like. I understand
so I'll give you
most
my honest
points.
reaction.
Uh huh.
I saw all the pictures of the pots and the tables, and I was so confused and lost. I did not. I was like, how many fucking teams is one team gonna play in a week or in a month? Because the the season is long is what, March, May, right?
Yeah.
May. Now they've added an extra 4 teams to the pot,
Mm-hmm.
right? To each for each pot.
Yeah.
So they added what, 12 teams, 16 teams,
Yeah.
something like that. So unless you're playing 2 games a week, which they're traveling to different countries, plus their league cups or their domestic cups, plus their league. I can tell you right now, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, United, is Tottenham playing Champions League?
No, it's Aston Villa.
And Villa, they're going to be exhausted, which it works out for all the other teams who don't get to play those,
Yeah.
right? But if you're playing Europa League, if you're playing conference where you're playing that amount of teams, that amount of games a week, if you're playing 3 games a week, it's you're going to get a lot more players injured.
Of course.
Exhaustion is going to kick in halfway, maybe the season.
It's like you're gonna have to start prioritizing what you're gonna go for the season.
Yeah, but then comes in the bragging rights, right? Oh, quadruple. Oh, I'm a octo winner. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's the champion. I mean, it's still the same amount of trophies, right? It's the champions.
Mm-hmm.
It's the league. It's their domestic cups, and then whatever else, whatever else. About 4 or 5 trophies per league, right? Let's say, for example,
Yeah.
4 or 5 trophies per, and then next year you qualify for the Club World Cup. Remember that the new tournament with the
And the
new
Super
table,
Cup. Yeah.
right? And the UEFA Super Cup, that's already 2 trophies plus the league. And then again, it's like, and I get it. It's. I think teams lose more money when they go to those cup, like to the Club World Cups
Yeah.
and to the UEFA Super Cup. They lose more money,
That's why they make them shorter too.
mm-hmm.
It's just quick. Let's get them out of here.
Which is, I mean, for UEFA makes all the money,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to like end it with. The
No, that's a good place
Champions League disaster.
because we are officially back and we will continue to bring some updates as much as we can.
Yeah. Chelsea lost, but they went through today, which was kind of embarrassing because honestly, I didn't even see the game because they only showed it through Chelsea TV, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like paying $5 for it to be honest because it was you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But so they
On aggregate, right?
they won on aggregate 3-2
Yeah.
against a nobody team from Geneva, Switzerland. I saw the lineups and I was like, okay, we're gonna lose because of one player in particular who defends like a 6-year-old. Yeah. Uh, let me pull up his actual
Who are you talking about?
Chelsea.
No, yeah, but what player?
What defender?
Yeah.
Badiashi. He is the shittiest player I've ever seen. He's like 6'4",
Mm-hmm.
but he gives up, I would say, 80% of the way. And one of the goals was literally him, and the second goal that happened was him just caught ball watching, which it happens, but not at that. It shouldn't happen at that level.
Okay. So you don't think the new coach is using these games to weed out what he needs to remove?
I think he already did, but because he brought in so many new players too,
Mm-hmm.
he's trying to balance it. I think
Okay.
that's his problem. it's a good problem, but it's a bad problem because they are talented players, but at the same time, it's like I need to find the right formula where I can pull the
What do you think? What do you think Chelsea's going for? Because before you knew what Chelsea was going for, and it was everything.
right.
It was everything, right? That's what categorized Chelsea for a very long time under your homeboy. What's his name?
My
Freaking
Russian king.
Abramovich.
Yeah,
But with this ownership, it
wherever you
just
are, buddy,
seems
I miss you.
it just seems like they don't know exactly what they're going for.
Okay, so here's my 2 cents. I'm gonna give you my thoughts, and I'm gonna give you what I think. I'm with you. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on what I would want from the team, and then what they think.
Okay, first, what you would want, realistically.
Realistically, I would want them to at least qualify. Okay, first of all, realistically, I want them to win the conference league. They have to win the conference league
Okay,
because it's a Toys R Us league.
all right.
Um, that I think entitles them to that they qualify to the Europa League. I think
Mm-hmm.
automatically if they win it.
Yeah.
All right. So that aside, if they win, let's say the English Cup and the FA Cup, I'm happy. I, they can either win one or two. I'm okay.
As long as they win something.
As long as they bring silverware in,
Okay.
I'm happy. Right? The Conference League is a must. Like,
So
it is a
So
requirement.
if they win a domestic cup, but they don't win the conference,
I would see it as a failure. I would
Okay.
see it as a failure
okay.
because I expect from the depth they have,
Yeah.
the pool they have, they have to win it,
Okay.
right?
All right. And okay, so now let's move on to that was your
That was
expectation.
yeah.
So now let's move
My
on to
thoughts on
your
what the
thoughts on-
owners want is here's a participation trophy, Johnny. Have a good one. No. I think they obviously they want to
Did,
do
did
well,
everybody get hugs?
right?
Hold on.
I mean, obviously they want them to do well, right? They want them to win, but realistically, I think the board would be happy with fourth place, fifth place. They would be happy because
So,
that means,
so you think the focus is more on not losing money,
of course, it's all about the money, man.
nothing else?
Because
Okay.
I think that if they make it to especially Champions League, right? If they get Champions League game, fourth place, fifth place, or fourth place, um, their wage bill expands. They can
Mhm.
spend more, and they have more time to sell the piece of shit that they have to sell, like Sterling.
Uh,
That's what I think.
yeah.
Right now, realistically, will that happen? I'm like at a 50-50. Actually, no. I'm not like at a 60-40.
As an outsider looking in, and you know, I wish the worst to Chelsea because they're
Right.
immediate rivals.
Of course. Go on.
It just seems like there's quality but no ambition.
Yeah, there's no hunger.
But then again, you can say the same thing about Tottenham right now. So,
Well, I think it's different for Tottenham because Tottenham can start the season, right?
yeah,
They can be on top of the league for the first 12, 15 games, and no one's gonna say they're gonna win the league. That's the hard truth.
hmm
No one's gonna say. The only people who are gonna say that are Tottenham fans. No one's gonna say Tottenham are gonna win the league. They might say they are title contenders,
or top four.
right? But they will never say Tottenham's gonna win the league. That's the problem with Tottenham.
The problem with Tottenham from the get go has been the again yes, it's similar. No ambition. It's been more of it. They just got named the best run club in the world financially.
Yeah, and that kind of tells you
Financially,
everything.
exactly. Every purchase that they've done to this point has been a bargain. They've been looking for bargains left and right. And then when they feel the pressure of the fans, they go and make a quote unquote statement purchase like Dominic Solanke that we don't even know if he's going to work.
Which I think he's not.
Which, if you're going to make a statement purchase, you should have gone for Chiesa.
Honestly, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think I don't know. I think it needs to be like a real change.
Like you clown on me a lot in that we go shopping on Wish, but
Yeah, I mean that's kind of true.
sadly that's how it's been feeling. All these new purchases that they have made within the last 5 years, now they're trying to get rid of them. You know, you got
Uh,
Emerson Royal, he's gone
Look,
finally.
honestly, I think
Hoiberg is gone.
I think
Brian Hill is on his way out. Regulon it's on his way out.
I think two players that Tottenham didn't know how to manage is Lo Celso and what's his name? Brian Gill. And because when Brian Gill, I think, and I even told you this, when Brian Gill arrived to Tottenham, I told you he suits Tottenham because of his style of play,
Mhm.
and he is a literal creative monster.
But he got stuck in the middle of the nonsense between Conte and Tottenham.
Well, yeah, but that's not his fault. It's literally the upper management.
But one of the things that I saw a lot with him, it's kind of like Modric, that
The
the
final,
final decision was
well,
always lacking.
I don't know what to tell you, but before he arrived to Tottenham, when he was in Spain, and then when he got back to Spain, his creativity was flourishing. And to be honest, it was that his position in Tottenham was a winger, right? They put
Hmm.
him as a winger. He's not a winger. He is a literal number 10. He needs
I
to be in the middle.
I just think that they put him there because he's not very physical.
But again,
You
look
know,
at you.
like
I'll give you the best example. Someone who's not physical and won a Champions League and made brilliant passes when given the opportunity. Juan Mata when he was at Chelsea. What?
Gil is not a Mata.
Yes, he is.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see because
When Tottenham
I
bought him,
I, I saw
I'm telling you because I know what
look.
I because
The
I
kid
know.
has talent. He has a lot of flair. It's just you say he suits Tottenham. I don't think he suits Tottenham at all.
He suits Tottenham. The only problem was also the players around him because all those Ali fucking type players that Tottenham buys don't work. They just don't work. I'm telling you, if
You know who I see that is like an extreme, like almost copy of Dele Alli is freaking
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yep.
The same thing.
Yep. I saw that too against especially against Everton.
Yeah.
Um, who else? Lo Celso. Lo Celso. He was more of a far back number 10, but I think he had it rough because he had what three different managers, and they loaned him out as soon as he got there too.
You can say that, but you had 2 seasons with him that he couldn't even pick up the goddamn ball. He couldn't make a pass to save his life.
Right,
They
right.
like he looked he looked like an amateur player in a lot of different games that it was embarrassing to watch. So what we thought we got, we would only have glimpses once every season, and maybe with Ange, the he couldn't stay fit.
Right.
But when he played, it was like, oh, so this is Lo Celso, you know.
Yeah.
But we didn't get none of that before. Even at their okay times, he couldn't corners. You couldn't pick up the ball. You couldn't lift the ball. Like, what is that? So I just think that it's one of those players that he's gonna flourish somewhere else and not with us. And I don't. I just think he just didn't want to be there in the first place.
I could see that he didn't want to be there in the first place.
Yeah.
But he is a top player too. Who again, also the players who he had around him were shit players, and that's just the truth. I'll give you another example. Who's a current player, Madison. Madison, he's a talented player. He's not the best, but at Tottenham, you don't. He doesn't do what he did at Leicester because the players around him at Leicester actually played around him. And fucking at Tottenham, he does not know what to do. Dead ball? dead ball. It's all him. It's all him.
Mm-hmm.
When he starts actually like combining, you see little like, oh shit, okay. But then as the game
I
progresses,
do agree that the ball has to pass through him. I do agree
yeah,
that.
so yeah, and Tottenham
Um,
don't know how to play through him or play
so
with. Yeah.
we're at the second season of the Ange Postecoglou now.
Well, hey, I'm gonna quote him here. He says that hey, apparently he wins trophies in the second season.
We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. Um, you knew last season the little issues that I had with him,
Right.
and until he proves me wrong, I'm on the fence, and I have to deal with him another season and see what happens. Because I, ideally, for me to give him like for
Praise.
some praise and to feel like he shut me up
Right.
is if he qualifies to Champions League this season convincingly, like no doubt that they deserve to be in the top four,
Right. They deserve to play there.
and winning the Europa League.
Do you think they're gonna win the Europa League?
On paper, technically, they should. They should.
I don't think they
They
do it on
should.
paper, brother.
Look,
Listen, they struggle in the conference league,
okay.
bro.
Maybe I'm going too strong with saying it like that. I think it's more of a it's a winnable cup.
That's what Arsenal thought, didn't? But then they met
Yeah,
us.
I just say it's a winnable cup. It's not the Champions League. It's a winnable cup.
That's right. Not anybody can win the Champions League.
We're not there. We're not there. I have to admit it. We're not there. So first, let's focus. Let's win that Europa League, and then I'll be like, yeah, 10 more years of this.
Nonsense.
Yeah, I can live off
So
a
you're
little
happy
longer.
with the
I
Europa League?
have to take the wins that I can.
That's fair. That's fair.
The reality of the team, we know that it's not focused on
Winning.
winning.
Yeah.
So um, they're happy just being called Big Six.
Which they're not even Big Six at all. But
So we have
which
not
is
seen.
crazy.
Yeah. So
It's like that. It's like they get called. I mean, they call themselves part of the Big Six, but in reality, they're not. It's like that group project where that one friend that does nothing is still gets an A. That's kind of Tottenham right there, being called the Big Six, but they're not.
well, okay. So now this time, I guess that's where we're leaving it
Right.
because we overextended. But if you stayed this long, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Um, like I said,
Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
we're back. And suggestions, we'll leave the suggestion box right there in the corner.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget to neuter your dogs and cats.
Okay. Oh, that.
Bob Barker.
Okay. All right. Bye.